As you know, cities across all of Ontario will be having their civic elections on October 27th. What are the issues for Sault Ste. Marie? Sault Online is going to be doing interviews with some of the candidates from all across the city. Today we will start with Ward 1 candidate Andy Martens. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, Mike, I've been married for 27 years. I have 2 children, 24 and 22. I work at OLG for the last 29 years.
Okay, why did you decide to run in this election?
Well, Mike, I've been passionate in politics, as you know. This is my 4th time running. I've started, first filed for Ward 1 councillor in 2003, and I think that this council has kind of dropped the ball in the last 4 years. It's got complacent, and the water issue could have been handled a little bit better than it was.
Okay, well, Ward 1 has had a long-standing problem with the water quality without any success from the present councillors. What do you want to see happen to change that?
Well, Mike, the problem with it is, and I've been hearing it at the door during the last 3-4 days, is that it's not the problem, it's how it was handled with status quo, nonchalant attitude. You gotta add passion. My slogan for my campaign is progressive, proactive, and passion. You gotta add passion into the process. The water issue concerned a lot of people, and as late as yesterday I saw the issues that were problems. People can't do their laundry in Ward 1. You got to add passion to the issue. You got to get in there and have town halls, see how people are feeling, go to the board of directors meeting, PUC. You could have lobbied the mayor and council when this stuff started happening late in 2011. None of that was done. So people are a little annoyed when the councillors didn't get passionate about the water issue. That's the problem in Ward 1.
Okay. Now, councillors have to answer to their constituents, but
right.
they should also be concerned about the rest of the city. What would you do to try and keep the PUC from ruining the water for, say, wards 4, 5, and 6?
I would make sure that the board of directors were aware of the issue that Ward 1 happened. Why? A lot of the question I had in Ward 1 was, why did they have to do it if it wasn't broke? Well, there were upgrades that were needed. There's 2 schools of thought. They did it because of Walkerton, or they did it because of the upgrades that were needed to the water infrastructure. I would have the PUC clarify that this problem doesn't escalate and go west, definitely, and provide evidence to where it's at and is it contained, because I think this problem, the water upgrade, will go on for 2 or 3 more years. I don't think we'll get it solved within the next year or 2.
Do you think that City Hall should have more control over the PUC?
Definitely. That's one of the things. Had I been a councillor, I would have lobbied the mayor and council and said, look, this is affecting my ward. You only had 2 representatives on from council on a board of 9 members when this issue broke in late 2011, about 3 years ago. Now you have 3. The mayor says, well, we added 1 councillor. Mike, how many corporations or companies do you know the sole shareholder doesn't even have 50% of the voting rights? Possibly the situation could have been different had we had 3 more councillors and had 6 out of 9 members on the PUC board. I've asked the existing councillors that sat on the PUC board. Nobody knows who these other members are. I mean, it's crazy. So I would have definitely made sure and encouraged, and that's where the passion comes in. The mayor and council, the Ward 1 councillors and the mayor, as far as I'm concerned, should have been on that board. Okay. And they weren't. And they haven't even attended an open meeting of the PUC board, which has been open for a little more than a year. So I think the residents of Ward 1 are very correct to look at that and say, well, you know, the mayor and the Ward 1 councillor, did they really go to bat for me in this issue? And I'm seeing a lot of anger at the door in Ward 1.
To get away from the water issue, Ward 6 has been working without two councillors for at least a couple years now. Do you think that Sault Ste. Marie should go to a one councillor per ward system?
There's two schools of thought. I think what we have is working well. However, having said that, I was part of the committee that looked at that way back when in the 90s with Lou Turco was the chair of the committee, and I was a citizen appointee. You have, you know, cities like Waterloo with 119,000 people with one councillor. I would tend to think let's leave it right now. We've got more important issues at hand, and perhaps if there's a desire to bring it up, if elected, I might, you know, talk to my fellow councillors and bring that issue up again. But I think, are we, you know, yeah, there's an argument to be made on both sides, but I'd like, you know, consultation is where we need to go with that, possibly down the road.
Okay, finally, do you see yourself unseating the incumbents, especially Butland, who has been there throughout the whole water problem?
Let me put it this way to you, Mike. There's a lot of anger in Ward 1. I'm going to work hard, and we'll see where the chips fall. I think very encouraged with the response I've got at the door, and we'll see where it ends up on October 27th. Definitely a lot of anger, and we'll see how the chips fall.
Okay, thank you very much.